Actually, other classes going on in the live mode. So it is not possible to put it in the live. But one person is coming, he will record the session and it will be uploaded later on in the YouTube. Because today's session, we are going to discuss many technical things. Maybe it is not possible for you to retain in one go. So if you will have a recording, you can watch the session later on also in order to get the clarity of the concept. Fine. So they told me that it will take some 10 minutes to come for the person to come and put in the recording mode. Okay. So for that 10 minutes, what we can do is we can discuss few things which is currently going in the economy, right? Rather than budget and economic survey, few other things are also going on, like the depreciation of rupee. Fine. So that depreciation of rupee is going on. And budget, have you gone through the document? Have you gone through the budget document? Yes or no? What you have found something important in the budget? Anything? Huh? Please don't talk. Okay. All right. So, like in budget, generally government have certain aspects, fine. But I think means not I think, I know many of you have already did the budget class. So what is the concept of outcome budget? What do you mean by outcome budget? Outcome budget. What is outcome budget? Huh? Budget which generates outcome, that is outcome budget. No, like you have not did the class. So I was expecting such kind of answer from those people who do not know. They will give this answer. The outcome of the budget is a outcome budget. Actually, no. See, every year when the budget is presented, what government says that? Government said that for upcoming financial year, 2025-26 financial year, government is presented the budget 25-26, and government have presented budget estimates. Fine, government has presented the budget estimate. Whereas for ongoing financial year, that is 2024-25, government present revised estimate. Fine, revised estimate. Whereas the financial year which is already completed, that is final estimates, and sometimes it is also written as actual estimates. AE. A stand for actual estimates also. AE also stand for advance estimate, but in the budget context, the final estimates are being there. So you are telling the public this amount we have targeted for this year. Suppose that for a service, we have targeted to spend how much? 4 lakh crore. For service A, we have targeted 4 lakh crores, but actually we have spent 4.5 lakh crores. This is going to be what? Final estimate. Similarly, in the revised estimate, you said that we are going to approximately spend 4.5 lakh crores when you have presented the budget. But now you are saying that it may be what? 4.8 lakh crores. Maybe. Maybe it is going to be how much? Maybe it is going to be 4.8 lakh crores. And in budget estimate, we have given 5 lakh crore. So government is giving this is we are going to spend. Fine. But after spending, what target you have set? Have you achieved? So you say, "Arey no, nahi." How you can say that no automatically? The point is no. What do you mean by no? Point is government is mentioning we will spend this amount of money to achieve this goal. Then government said that this money is not sufficient. We need this amount of money to achieve this goal. Fine. Then finally government said that we have spent actually this amount of money to achieve that goal. But government is not telling, have they achieved that goal or not? Government is not telling about this. Government is telling only about what? Money. This money is required. Budget estimate. Then next year government said that no, actually this amount is required. And finally government said that we have spent this amount. Okay, but government is not telling whether the target which you have set for spending, have you met the target or not? So for this purpose, the concept of outcome budget was introduced. What is the outcome? Finally, you said that you have spent how much? 4.5 lakh crores. You spend 4.5 lakh crore for this. By spending this amount, have you achieved that target? So this is going to be explained by the government under what? Outcome budget. So budget is a document where government tells us how much money is required. Budget estimate. Then in the ongoing financial year, you said that no, revise estimate. Financial year over, then you have given final estimate. But you are giving just estimates. This is required, this we need, and finally this amount we have spent. But after spending that amount of money, what you have achieved? That is not mentioned anywhere. And even in the economic survey, you are just analyzing past 4 or 5 years data, and you are analyzing this is the situation of the economy. Fine. What is happening in the banking sector? What is happening in the external sector? You are just giving a perception. But you are not telling okay, we want to increase the literacy, for example. So government have initiated Universal Education Mission, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Fine. So suppose that government said that present level literacy rate is, suppose, just for your understanding, government said that present level of literacy in India is 68.7%. And we will spend 1 lakh crores every year on Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan in order to increase the literacy to 74% in next 5 years. And for that purpose, we are going to spend 1 lakh crore every financial year. Okay, so you have given this. So every year government is saying that we have spent how much? 1 lakh crore. This year, we are also going to spend how much? 1 lakh crore. This year, even we are going to increase the spending from 1 lakh crore to 1,40,000 crores. But how much percentage literacy has been increased? You have said that in 5 years, we are going to increase the literacy from 68% to 74%. That means there will be substantive rise of what? 6%. By spending how much? 5 lakh crore, because 1 lakh crore each year. So after spending 5 lakh crore, have you achieved this target? Yes or no? This need to be known by the public. But public is more interested up to 12 lakh rupees income is what? Exempted from the tax. Public is more interested. Doesn't matter they are earning or not. One person called, भैया 12 लाख तक का ऑफ कर दिया. मैं कहा तुम्हारी इनकम कितनी है? How much you are earning? पता नहीं. He don't know. And I don't know from where he get the document. Like in the budget, government has mentioned 5%, 10%, 12%, and then 15%. In that way, slab has given. So his confusion was, bhaiya humko ye janna hai, I want to know from you is how it is possible, because government is saying that 15%. And all media outlets are saying what? 0. How it is possible? Matlab wo pooch raha hai mere se. Because why you are interested? Were interested. Then he told me that actually I am a driver of one person and he earned somewhere around 12 lakhs. So he is confused. So I thought that aap economics padhate ho. You are the teacher of economics, so you can explain better. I can explain him. No, aap hame explain kar do, usse explain kar denge. I said fine. So public is more interested in what? Nonsense thing which is not required for them to know. Fine, to know. But public is showing great interest. Why media outlets are showing the great interest? Every media outlet from morning to evening, they are discussing on what? 12 lakh rupees. Even that anchor, he is not having the income of 1 lakh rupees, having the income of 80,000. So you should concern about yourself first. For example, in the Federal Reserve debate, like when the US government has presented the budget, and I was watching that CNBC, and that anchor who was there, and he asked the expert to give his views. So he put himself, he said, my salary is this, and how it is going to impact, federal budget is going to impact myself. So they go for debate in this manner. But in this country, the problem is that people do not understand, and they do not want to understand. They do not want to understand. So that is why taxation is not a big deal here. In fact, government have other agenda. Government, like we have GST, goods and services tax. What GST have did? GST have put all those taxes subsumed, and one system was created, that is GST. Similarly, government is going to introduce direct tax code. Direct tax code. So what is code? So right now there is an Income Tax Act. Fine. Then there is a minimum alternative tax. Then there is a different taxes are there. So rather than having different definition of the tax, only one tax will be there, and under that all the direct taxes will be implemented. So what we do have in the what? In the indirect taxation system, same kind of the thing we are going to introduce in what? Direct taxes. Fine. So this is called direct tax code. So government have initiated this thing. Fine. So there are many initiatives taken by the government here in this context in order to change and reforms the thing. But people are looking only on certain aspects. Okay. Now, another big things which is going on is Trump's tariff. So what do you think? These tariff war by the Trump is going to help India or is going to create a problem for the India? How it is going to create a problem for India and how it is going to help the India? India have surplus trade with whom? US. Why India do have a surplus trade with US? Services exports. Okay. But why Trump want to put tariff on India's goods? Huh? Manufacturing should be shifted back to where? America. Okay. But how it is going to benefit US? Do you think that a company who has established their production line here and they are going to back where? US. Trump is going to be president only for 4 years. And after that, it is not possible for him to remain president. And it is going to be actually more problematic for US people. What they are paying right now, if the tariff on Indian goods is going to be increased, then American people have to pay more. Fine. So if that company, Indian company on whose goods, suppose that there is a set of goods manufactured by India, A, B, C, D. These are the 4 goods. These are manufactured by whom? Easy, man. No issues. So these 4 goods are produced by Indian firm. Fine. And they are going to where? US. Fine. They are going to where? US. Now in US, suppose that tariff was 5%. Now Trump is saying that tariff will be how much? 10%. So actually it is going to impact Indian exporters only when it is going to impact Indian exporters only when because of the increase in the tariff, demand in US is going to what? Decrease. If demand is going to be remain there will be no impact on whom? Indian exporters. And now on Indian goods, how much tariff is increased? 10%. It is not 10%. Now suppose that same set of goods is also manufactured by whom? China. Same set of goods. But in the case of China, they have imposed a tariff of how much? 15%. So the same good which is manufactured by whom? China. Now these goods, when they will enter in US, okay, they will enter in US, and now the Chinese made good is going to be more costly than Indian made goods. So despite hike in the tariff, who will in the edge? India is going to be in a edge. So our Prime Minister is very clever. He have developed a kind of a personal reputation with whom? Donald Trump. So the purpose of call and tariff acceptance is for this purpose. What India has said that actually India deliberately put higher tariff on American goods because certain American goods are very good quality goods. Fine. Though the South India, the staple diet is rice. Here the staple diet is rice. But in North India, staple diet is wheat. Fine. Chapati. Without chapati, there is no staple food. Fine. Especially in Haryana, people cannot live without what? Chapati. Roti khani hai. Fine. So they will not say he have a lunch, or they will say that roti khai sir. So roti, matlab roti bhi nahi bolega, roti. Fine. So roti khai sir. So they have a staple diet of what? Wheat. So generally, what wheat is produced in India and what wheat is produced in where? US. The best quality wheat at where? US. Why? Why? Huh? Wheat bowl of? Nah. Huh? Nah. What kind of grasslands are in North America? Prairies. And what is the main trait of that grasslands? What is the temperature there? And what kind of temperature is ideal for wheat? So just see that area, fine. So that certain American jo mainland hai na, the mainland of the America, the North American land, mainland or grasslands, they have very conducive climate for producing what? For producing good quality of wheat. So that is why the quality of wheat is much better than the quality of wheat in India. Same thing for Russia also. So Russia, Ukraine, so certain land of that region, like if you'll see the Russia, na, so there are different zones. So this is Russia. So these zones are having a very high conducive climate to produce what? A fine quality of what? Wheat. Whereas the Indian territory, the Indian belt, though the rice is mainly produced in southern India, but what about basmati rice? That specific area where the mountainous terrain. So that mountainous terrain is specifically for what? Basmati rice. Many times it is tried to have a kind of basmati rice in the south, but never successful there. There is no success. So sometimes what happens is certain climatic conditions are helpful for having particular thing. So in that way, if US made good will enter in the India, it is outrightly going to what? Compete out the Indian products. Indian products will be what? Completely out. So this is why it is very important to put higher tariff on certain American goods. So somewhere around 30 goods which are high-end goods, India have put what? Lot of tax on it. Fine. Now in the budget, government have announced that government is going to decrease what? Government is going to decrease tax on it. So government is going to decrease the tax on it. So there will be less tariff on American-made goods which are going to enter in India. So if India have decreased the tariff before Trump is going to do anything, and India well informed to the American counterparts that we are going to decrease what? Tariff. So what we have seen in the case of Canada, Mexico, and what? China. The same kind of the tariff increase is not going to be done by whom? Donald Trump. Why? India has already what? Decreased. But because taxes are increased on other countries' good. So actually, if you will see from other point of view, it is going to help India. Because what goods which are entering from Canada, Mexico, China, they are going to be relatively costly in comparison to the same good which is entering to US from which market? India. Fine. So you cannot say that it is going to adversely impact. And in fact, many articles has been written in the newspaper in this regard. So it depends. It depends how India is going to take the advantage of this situation. Okay. So on that basis, it is going to be happening. Okay. So in this context, the tariff thing, you should not just create your perception what others are saying in the reels or video. Even in the video, if the person is saying something, see the complete video. Fine. What he's explaining. What he's explaining. So if you will go by the proper explanation, you will find that might be India is going to take advantage of what? These tariff rise on certain things. And these are pressure tactics. What he did? He increased the tariff for Canada and Mexico. Then immediately next day, what he did? Pause for 1 month. So create the panic. Person will be unsettled and they will be in what? More negotiating things will going to happen and then settle that thing. They have sent how many illegal immigrants? 101. And what plane they have used? C-17 Globemaster. And the cost of that C-17 Globemaster for each person, that is $4,000. So they have spent $1 million, $1 million to deport those people using the military aircraft. And that is just a gimmick. I have promised and I am fulfilling my promise to just sensitize US public. Because if they are going to deport all of them in that military aircraft, and might be they are 18,000 in number. The approximate figure is 18,000 illegal immigrants are in US from India. Fine. So if they are going to deport all those, even not 18,000, even if they are going to deport how much? 15,000 or 12,000, it is going to be very costly for whom? US. And you know that though they have this ability, they need not to send with a military aircraft. They can book a charter flight, and what they spend $4,000, that can be achieved by paying only $600. So rather than paying $600 to particular airlines to deport those people, they use what? Military aircraft to send a message to entire world. We are extremely determined to execute this thing at any cost. So it is just a message. Otherwise, whenever this deportation happens, it is going to happen only through what? Only through the normal airlines rather than using what? Military aircraft. Acha, do you know that how they enter in the America? Do you know donkey route? What is donkey route? Central American and South American countries, people will reach there, and from there, how they will enter in the US? Which particular area? One forested area is there. Do you know the name of the forested area? Do you know the name of the forested area which is specifically used for this purpose? Actually, there is one highway. Okay, that highway connect two tipping points of North American continent and South American continent. Fine, that is Trans-US Highway, Trans-American Highway, and it is connecting Alaska and the tip of what? South America. But in this entire route, there is one area where is no highways there, only jungle is there. The name of that, just give me a second, I'll let you know what is the name of that particular area. Yeah, that is Darien Gap. D-A-R-I-E-N, Darien Gap. D-A-R-I-E-N, Darien Gap. And it is between you can write also it is a 97-kilometer stretch. It is a 97-kilometer stretch in Trans American Highway at the border of Colombia and Panama. Colombia and Panama. Colombia and Panama. Fine. So this means this area do not have any highway. So what you have to do, you have to use the Darien Gap. And from there, from Panama to Colombia. Then you will enter at where? Mexico. And from Mexico through certain tunnels, you will enter illegally what? You will enter illegally at where? US. So this Darien Gap and Donkey route, these two are most prominent thing. So every year in the exam, they ask map-based question. Fine. So in that context, you can read that. All right. So I think recording may be some issue. They have not came. So we are going to increase our pace our class. And I told you about what? In the economic survey, chapter number 2, they have specifically discussed two things. What? One is money supply. Fine. Money supply. And for that purpose, they use what? They use the money multiplier effect. How this money multiplier effect works. In fact, who issue the currency in India? RBI. Fine. So RBI print the currency, and that currency go to whom? Banks and government, and from there it reach to whom? Public. Fine. So in that context, if you want to know how much money is required, so you need to calculate how much money is with the public, how much money is with the government, and how much money RBI holds. Fine. So in this context, the concept of money supply is used. Okay. And here two things are there. One is monetary base and liquidity base. Fine. So this monetary base is used to calculate liquidity or money supply in the economy. Money supply in the economy. Whereas liquidity base, L1, L2, and L3. So these three indicators are there, L1, L2, and L3, to understand liquidity situation in the economy. Whereas for the monetary base, earlier RBI using M1, M2, M3, and M4. So they were using this 4 classification, M1, M2, M3, and M4. Fine. But now in place of this, RBI uses M0, M1, M2, and M3. So at present, M0, M1, M2, M3, L1, L2, and L3, these concepts are used in order to assess the money and liquidity situation in the economy. Okay. Now, what they are, first write, then I'll explain. Okay, write it down. So, first you have to write about what? What is M1, M2, M3, like M0. First write what is M0. M0 is also known as M0 is also known as reserve money. M0 is also known as reserve money. Now write a formula. Write a formula. M0 equal to currency in circulation. Currency in circulation plus bankers deposit with RBI plus other deposits with RBI. Other deposits with RBI. Okay, now write what is M1. M1 in brackets, narrow money. Narrow money. Bracket close. M1 is equal to currency with public. Currency with public. Can you see that in M0 what we have written? M0 is equal to currency in circulation. Underline the word circulation. Underline the word circulation. Now in M1 what you have written? Currency with public. So these are two different things. Okay, I'll explain you. Plus currency with public plus demand deposits with bank. Demand deposit with banks. Plus other deposits with RBI. Fine. Other deposits with RBI. M2, right? Next is M2. M2 is equal to M1. M2 is equal to M1 plus saving deposits. Saving M2 is equal to M1 plus saving deposits with post office. Fine. Now write M3. M3 in brackets broad money. M3 is what? Broad money. M0 is reserve money. M1 is narrow money. M3 is broad money. Fine. Right? M3 is equal to M1. M3 is equal to what? M1, not M2. M1 plus time deposits with banks. Time deposits with bank. Fine. Time deposits with bank. Now write M4. M4 is equal to M3. M3 plus total deposits. Total deposits with post office. Total deposits with post office excluding national saving certificates. Excluding national saving certificates. Okay. So we have written about M0, M1, M2, M3, and M4. Fine. Now write a note. Write a note. Difference between currency in circulation and currency with public. Difference between currency in circulation and currency with public. Right in this. The total amount of currency issued by RBI. issued by RBI which is currently in use. The total amount of currency issued by RBI that is currently in the use is currency in circulation. Is currency in circulation. Whereas cash held by individuals, businesses, individual, businesses, and household, excluding banks, is currency with public. Okay, fine. So RBI know that ki how much note they have issued, how much currency they have issued. It is well documented with whom? RBI. It is not like that, na, they are printing but they are forgetting ki how much we have printed. No, they know that ki how much money we have printed. And out of that, what we have printed, how much with us. So suppose that if they have printed 1 crore rupees denomination currency, fine, 1 crore rupees denomination currency they have printed. Now 20 lakhs is with them. 20 lakh is with them. Means now rest of the 80 lakhs is either with the bank or with whom? Public. Either with whom? Banks or with whom? Public. And if RBI is going to ask public, how much money do you have? Do you think that public is going to tell? No, never, not. Not possible. Public is going to tell how much money we do have. But RBI can easily calculate how much money with whom? Banks. Because banks have to comply the regulations fixed by whom? RBI. Fine. So it is easy for whom? It is easy for RBI to calculate how much money with whom? Banks. So 20 lakh is with whom? RBI. Now suppose that 60 lakh is with whom? Banks. So how much with public? 20 lakhs. Fine. So 60 lakh with bank and 20 lakh with whom? Public. Now tell me, out of this, which one is more important for the economy? Think and then answer. You have to choose one. Which one is most important and why? Answer. Answer. Which one is more important? I think you have find the answer in your phone. Find the answer. RBI, the money which RBI have, it is most important for the economy, or with the bank, or with whom? Public. And why? First answer. Public means 20 lakhs. 20 lakh with public, it's more important. Incorrect. Now, only two options, either RBI or with the bank. RBI, why? Okay, I'm telling you the answer. It is bank. Now tell me the reason. You can say that if you told me the answer, you have to tell me the reason. Of course, I'm going to tell, but think. I have already explained you this thing in the class. Yes. Public have a money. What public will do? Either spend or hold or save. Either consume or it will hold or it will what? Deposit. Save. Save in the terms of what? Achha, here saving and investments are two different things. Saving means what? You have put the money at some place and you have put the money at any place to grow. Fine. You have put that money in the garden and you are giving what? Water every day, the money will grow. And you are saying that I have planted money plant. Fine. So it is not going to grow. Money will grow through what? Investments. So investments are going to with the public itself, or they are going to financial institutions. Financial institutions. And what financial institutions will do? Once bank is going to receive that money, bank is going to give a loan to others. So who is going to multiply the money? RBI, public, or banks? Banks. Fine. So what amount of money banking system do have? That is going to create how much possibility of money multiplier effect is there. So if the liquidity in the banking system is on fall, if the liquidity in the banking system is going to fall, how it is going to impact the economy? Understand. As we know that it is a bank who is having a capacity of what? Multiplier effect. Multiplier effect. Those people who do not know the multiplier effect, how it works. Suppose that person A, fine, person A, in my classes, person A is always there and it is very important, fine, person A. So he got the salary of what? He got the salary of, suppose that 1 lakh rupees. Out of that, 60% he is going to consume and 40% he is going to what? Save. So what 60% he is going to, that is 60,000. And that 60,000 he used for what purpose? Consumption purpose. So his consumption is going to be the income for whom? B. Suppose that he purchased the goods and he purchased all the goods from one person. That is whom? B. So that 60,000 received by whom? B as what? Income. Now he is also going to follow 60-40 rule. So some money he is going to what? Some money he is going to spend. How much he is going to spend? He is going to spend 60,000 he has received. 36,000 he is going to what? Spend. And how much? 24,000 he is going to what? Save. Now this 36,000 is going to be the income from whom? C. Now suppose C is having 36,000 income and he spent how much? 25,000. And how much he saved? 11,000. Now 25,000 is going to be the income of whom? D. Out of that 20,000 he spent and 5,000 how much? He saved. So from this 1 lakh rupees, if all of them they are depositing in that bank, X bank, they are depositing. So how much X bank have received? 40,000. Then how much? 24,000. Then how much? 11,000. Then how much? 5,000. So how much total they have received? Itna time. 80,000. Now, if bank has given this loan to M, this 80,000 is given as a loan to whom? M. So M is going to spend at N. So N got how much? 80,000. 20,000 he is going to save. 60,000 he is going to spend. So 20,000 back again to what? Banking system. So this is how this 1 lakh rupees is getting what? Circulated and multiplied. Understood? So this is why banking system is very important and crucial for what purpose? Multiplier effect. Fine. Now, if the liquidity in the banking system is draining out, if the liquidity in the banking system is draining out, what will be the impact on consumption? Increase or decrease? Consumption. Rise or fall? Fall. Why? Because banks are not able to provide loan to whom? M. So M is not getting the money, so M cannot spend, so that N get the income of how much? 80,000. So this is why this money multiplier effect is important. And in order to calculate precisely how much money you have published, issued, how much money with the bank. Now banks have different type of deposits. Banks have different type of deposits, fixed deposit and recurring deposits. Basically, there are demand deposits and time deposits. Demand deposits must be given back to the customer on his demand, whereas time deposit means what? You have to return the money after a fixed duration. So which one is more easy to move? Which one is more easy to circulate? Which one is going to circulate easily? Demand deposits. Demand deposit can be easily go to the banking system, and from banking system it will come back to where? Consumer. Fine. Consumer to bank, bank to consumer, because it can be available to the customer on the demand. What money you are withdrawing from your account to the ATM cards. That is what? Fixed time deposit or demand deposits? Demand deposits. Demand deposits. So this is how demand deposits play an important role. So this is why we do not have only one aggregate. This is why RBI has created what? M0, M1, M2, M3 and M4. What is in M0? Currency in circulation. Fine. Currency in circulation. Then banks, deposits with whom? RBI. What kind of money is this? Basically, cash reserve ratio. Banks have to maintain cash reserve ratio with whom? RBI. So whatever the statutory reserves, is maintained by whom? Banks with whom? RBI. This is fine. Now other is other deposits with RBI. Fine. Anyone who is working in bank? कहाँ गया वो नालायक? अच्छा नहीं है. Not today. Anyone who works in the bank? Even if anyone is working in the bank, he's not going to raise the hand. Because they know that. Have you ever heard this account? Who said that? What is it? What is it? If you know that, that means you know the term, you know the meaning. What is central deposit? You heard that, na? Where you have heard? In accounts. What is your background? Like graduation? BCom. Aris, shabash. Answer. Very good. That was a trap. Have you seen that movie, Pirates of Caribbean? The classic character of whom? Johnny Depp. That is Captain Jack Sparrow. And at that point of time, they have the tradition. What tradition? If you are being caught as a pirate, you will be hanged. British are going to hang you. But if British are going to say that, parley, fine. Parley means let's talk. That means you are not going to be hanged. So he was caught. He was caught. Who? Jack Sparrow was caught. And he just trying to, not outrightly saying that. He is just trying to depict, not saying parley, but he is using other words. Then what do you want to say? This. No, not this. Then that the British officer himself said that. Parley. Acha, okay, let's parley. Let's talk. So sometimes this is the way to extract the information. And this is the way sometimes to confuse the candidate. Confuse the candidate. Why people when enter in the examination hall, they are not able to solve this question. And the moment they will come out of the examination hall, answer is C. In that 2 hours, they are out of the mind. A, B, C or D. Once you will come out of the examination hall, you will find this. This is also another level of experience of UPSC, which you are going to have it in next few months. Those who are going to fill the form this year, otherwise others are going to have next year. But definitely it is going to happen. But why? Because of this close proximity with the information in the pressure situation, it is going to confuse you. Classic behavior of the people, push or pull the door. It is written what? Push. And he is like, are push and pull. But why? Because both words are having what? So your brain is going to get confused. Even the symbol is there. Fine? Symbol is there. But still people are what? Doing opposite. Fine. So this is why you should not think they are going to ask very extraordinary questions. They will ask simple basic concepts which is keep flowing in the newspapers and always available in what? In the textbooks. But they will confuse you. Fine. So there is a concept known as sundry deposit. What they are actually. And they are part of basically actually other deposit with whom? RBI. What is it? What is it? Suppose that you have an FD with the bank. You have an FD with the bank and that FD is going to mature today. So FD got matured. Bank has given you two options. Either you can fix it for another year. Okay. Either you can fix it for the another year. What date is today? 7th of February. February is very important for the budget. For the budget. Fine. So 7th of February. Fine. What? Rose Day. Padh le. Not Rose Day. Padh le. Padh means study. Le means padh lo. Fine. Otherwise, maybe situation will come. Nobody is going to give you the rose, but you are going to give the rose to everyone because you have your own shop. Right? So do something, people will automatically come and give you the rose. Fine. So do something so that people will automatically come. You need not to go to anyone. Okay. So be like that. So 7th of February. Without any day, 7th day of the February. Fine. So on the 7th day of February 2025, your deposit is going to mature. Your deposit is going to mature. Bank have given you two choices. Either you can withdraw it or you can do what? You can put it for another year. On the 7th of February, he was undecided. He was undecided. So that fixed deposit money is there and it got matured with interest. So now this money is of whom? Yours, but still lying with whom? Bank. So at that moment, that money is unclaimed money. And that money will under what? Sundry deposit. Within 2 days, fine, that person have wrote an application and he said that I want to withdraw. Then the money will be come out of sundry deposit and given to that person. And if he decided to further continue, then again from sundry deposit, money will go to whom? That person's account and it will be further going for FD for 1 more year. So any money which is with the bank, which is unclaimed or unused money, that known as what? Sundry deposit. So any money, even sometimes bank guarantee is also there. So bank guarantee means what? I am, for example, export and import. Okay. So exporter from India, he said that I will export that material. But that importer is having a doubt on the exporter whether he is going to give the goods or not if I will pay. I have paid, but he is not sending that good, then what will happen? So bank said that to importer, you can give the money to us. And we will give money to the exporter only when his good is going to be received by you in your country. So importer have given money to whom? Bank. Bank have that money. And bank will give this money to whom? Exporter only when the consignment is going to reach at where? Importer's destination. So this is a bank guarantee or not? So this money is going to be in which account? Sundry deposit. Because it is not of bank, it is of which person? Exporter. And exporter will get that money only when he is going to give that good to importer's country. Fine. So this kind of the money, which is not of proper definition, but lying with the bank, they come under which category? Sundry deposit. And when it is said that the other deposits with RBI, this also includes what? Sundry deposit. Fine. Understood? One more thing. IMF, International monetary fund. So when this IMF was established, every member country have to contribute to create a fund. And this fund, which is created as an IMF fund. How the IMF fund was created? IMF fund was created by contribution by member countries. Now this fund, suppose that M1 money is created by member countries. The total fund value is what? M1. So M1 is a fund of whom? IMF. So as per the agreement between the member countries who created the IMF, what they have decided? They have decided, suppose, consider it as MN. Total value is what? MN. And MN is equal to M1 plus M2 plus M3, like that, MX. Fine. So every member country have contributed. So suppose this M2 is a contribution of whom? India. Listen very carefully, okay? So every member country have contributed to create the fund of whom? IMF. Why? Question is why? Why they have created the IMF fund? They have created the IMF fund so that if the member country is going to be in the crisis, if a member country is going to be in what? Crisis, then they can take assistance from whom? IMF. This is the purpose. This is the purpose. Now see further. What is the contribution of India? M2. Now this is M2. This is the contribution of whom? India in what? IMF. Now this M2 is actually having two components, A plus B. A plus B. What A plus B here? A amount is the amount which is given by the India for IMF, but it will always with whom? India only. That money is given by whom? India to whom? IMF. Fine. But that money is always with whom? India, so that whenever India is in crisis, India can immediately use this money. And if this money is not sufficient to overcome the crisis, then B is also going to be used. And if the B is not sufficient, then you will ask IMF to provide more money. Okay. So A amount which you may have given to whom? IMF, but you can access this money without any terms and conditions. Without any terms and conditions. Whereas B, you can use, but with certain terms and conditions. But if A and B you have exhausted and you want more money from whom? IMF. Then you have to follow strict terms and conditions given by whom? IMF. So this is how IMF works. Understood? Have you understood? So this money A is called as, very good, this is called reserve trench. Reserve trench. And what this amount called? SDR. Special drawing rights. SDR. Special drawing rights. SDR. Now, see from the accounting point of view. This reserve trench position, RTP, this reserve trench position is in IMF account number 1. Fine. IMF account number 1. I'll write on the next page for more clarity. M2 is what? India's contribution in M2. And M2 is what? A plus B. A is what? Reserve trench position. B is what? Special drawing rights. This A is always with whom? India. But B with whom? IMF. B with whom? IMF. Now this A amount is held by RBI. Why? Because it is a contribution of whom? India. So the account in which this money is being put, that account is known as IMF account number 1. And the account in which this SDR is stored is known as IMF account number 2. Fine. IMF account number 1 and IMF account number 2. Now, because this reserve trench position, RTP is with whom? Domestic country. So you can maintain the RTP, reserve trench position, even in your domestic currency also. If you want, you can have your reserve trench position in which currency? Your domestic currency also. Why? Because it is exclusively for whom? The country who have given the contribution. Fine. So if country wants, they can put their RTP even in the domestic currency. Understood? But SDRs are always going to be in what? Basket currencies. Basket currencies. Fine. The SDR is going to be in which currency? Basket currency. And what are the basket currency? Dollar, euro, yen, pound, yuan, and Japanese yen. Fine. So dollar, euro, yen, and yuan. These are what? These are basket currencies. Fine. So, and one more thing you should also keep in the mind. When we calculate our forex, then RTP plus SDR, they are also part of what? Forex. So in other, see, now these days, most of the people know that RTP and what? SDR. So rather than writing RTP and SDR, if they are going to write account position in IMF account number 1 and account position in IMF account number 2 is part of foreign reserve, 99% people are not able to answer this question. 99% people will not able to answer this question because they do not know that what is IMF account number 1 and what is IMF account number 2. And even UPSC is not going to ask this question because the people who are there, they also do not know. Right? So how they are going to make the question? If by any chance it is going to be used in the newspaper, they may have limited knowledge, but they are very good in the newspaper reading. They are very good in that. Fine. So if it is going to be mentioned because of any good or bad reason, IMF account number 1, IMF account number 2, then definitely it is going to be possibility to make a question on it. Understood? So IMF account number 1, IMF account number 2, sundry deposit, all of these are part of what? All of these are part of other deposit with whom? RBI. Understood this? So M0, have you understood the M0? And M0 is known as what? Reserve money. Reserve money. Now, for M1, what we have written? Currency with public plus demand deposits with banks plus other deposits with RBI. Other deposits with what? RBI. But in the case of M2, what we have did? M1 plus post office saving. Now, can you tell me which one is more liquid? M1 or M2? M1 is more liquid or M2 is more liquid? And why? Huh? What liquidity means? See, those people who do not know that, or those people who forget that. Fine. Both kind of the people, because in this batch, November batch students are also there. They do not know that. July batch, September batch, though who forget that. Fine. Please have Sanpushpi and Chavanprash for your better mental health. Fine. So what is liquidity? The ability to convert that thing into what? Commodity. If you have a cash, immediately can be purchased any good what you want. If you have what? Gold, you can immediately. If you have money in the saving accounts, you can immediately withdraw. But if money is in what? Money is in the fixed deposit. Then it will take some time to withdraw that money from there. Then use for what purpose? Spending purpose. So the liquidity is defined in terms of degree. Means how easily you are going to convert that money into what? Commodity. So on that basis, we will define liquidity. So M1 is more liquid than what? M2. Why? In M1, what we have? In M1, demand deposits, currency with public, other deposit with whom? RBI. Whereas in the case of M2, what we have? In M2, M1 is there, but post office saving is also there. But post office saving is not as quickly converted into the money as banks' demand deposits can be converted. So because post office savings are there, but it need a lot of time to be converted into what? Cash. So this is why M2 is less liquid than what? M1. So on the basis of liquidity, which one is more liquid? M1 is more liquid than what? M2. Now come to M3. What M3 is? M3 is equal to M2 or M1? M2 or M1? M1. Remember that it is what? M1. Means, listen, why not M2? Why M1? Because we do not want to use what? Post office saving. For this purpose, we have used what? M1, not use what? M2. And remember that UPSC have a habit to ask these questions. They have this habit, they ask these questions, so be very careful when you are dealing with what? Narrow money, broad money, and reserve money. Whatever RBI has printed, whatever RBI have of banks, whatever RBI have others, that is what? M0. That is what? Reserve money. What is reserve money? Money printed by RBI plus money held by the RBI of whom? Banks. Money held by the RBI of others. So that is what? M0, and that is what? Reserve money. What is narrow money? What is narrow money? Currency with public plus demand deposits with banks plus other deposit with RBI. So this is narrow money. Now what is broad money? M1 plus time deposits with banks. Fine. Now think about money multiplier. I have explained you money multiplier. So in money multiplier, which can play a bigger role? In money multiplier, reserve money versus what? Broad money. Reserve money versus broad money. So how much reserve money is converted into what? Broad money. If more reserve money is going to be converted into what? Broad money, multiplier effect is going to what? Raise. But if the broad money is coming back to where? Reserve money. Then the money multiplier effect will what? Fall. Why? Because broad money have basically what? M1. What is M1? Currency with public. Currency with public plus what? Plus demand deposits. Of whom? Banking system. Plus time deposit of what? Banking system. Plus other deposits of whom? RBI. So this one is showing entire money with whom? Banking system. And this entire money with the banking system plays a most important role for what purpose? Multiplier effect. So broad money versus reserve money is the case of what? Is the case of money multiplier effect. Understood? Have the clarity? Have you written M0, M1, M2, M3, M4? Have you written? Okay. So there is no need to go for M4. But when you want to know that how much money is in the financial system, how much money you need have a financial system. So here M1 is most liquid, then M2, then M3, then M4. But I have a question for you. What do you think? Which one is more liquid, M2 or M3? Which one is more liquid? M2 is more liquid or M3 is more liquid? Which one? Think again. My question is, which one is more liquid? What liquid means here? Which can be easily converted into what? Commodity. That is liquidity. Now, what you have to think? M1 is there and M3 is there. So M1 we have put aside. Now we have to discuss between whom? M2 and M3. So which one have the post office deposit? M2 have a post office deposit. Fine. But what post office deposit? Demand wala. Demand deposits. Demand deposits with whom? Post office. Whereas M3 have what? Time deposit of what? Banks. Now you have to think which one is more liquid. Demand deposit with post office or time deposit with whom? Bank. Which one is more liquid? Bank or post office? This is the joy of the class for me. Right? It is always demand deposits are more liquid than time deposit. Remember that. Demand deposits in any form, they are more liquid than what? Time deposit. So this is why M2 is what? More liquid than what? M3. And now M3 is more liquid than what? M4. Why? Because M4, what you have added? Post office all deposit. Post office all deposit means demand as well as what? Time deposit. So M4 is what? M4 is less liquid. Okay. M4 is less liquid. Now regarding L1, L2 and L3. Actually see what happens. To calculate this liquidity, three RBI working group came. Three groups came. So first came in 1967. Then second came in 1997. And third one came in 2004. So they said that in Indian system, liquidity is on keep rising. So apart from what? Calculating what is in circulation. What is in circulation? Let's try to calculate what actually we do have in the entire system. Why? Because over the period of time, the role of NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, also on what? Rise. So this is why they have created what? L1, L2 and L3 also. So write what is L1? L1 is equal to M3. M3 plus all deposits. All deposits in brackets, saving deposits. All deposits in brackets, saving deposits with NBFCs. Then write L2. L2 is equal to L1. L2 is equal to L1 plus term deposits with NBFC. L2 is equal to L1 plus term deposit with NBFCs. L3 is equal to L2. L3 is equal to L2 plus public deposits with NBFCs. Fine. So see, if you know M0 and M1, rest of the others you are easily able to calculate. But you have to keep what is what? M0. M0 is what? Currency in circulation plus other deposits with whom? RBI plus banks deposits with RBI. This is what? This is reserve money. Fine. This is what? Reserve money. What is M1? M1 is, first of all, currency in public. Currency with public plus demand deposits plus other deposits. Now, when you will calculate M2, M1 plus post office savings. But when you will go for what? M3, you are not going to use M2. You are again going to use what? M1 plus time deposit with whom? Banks. So if you will calculate M3, then to calculate M4, M3 plus what? All deposits with post office. Now when we go for what? L1, again what? M3 plus saving deposits with whom? NBFC. What is L2? L1 plus time deposit with NBFCs. What is L3? Everything, anything, any kind of the deposits comes under the category of what? L3. So L3 represents entire money of the system. Whereas broad money shows that how demand is going to be get impacted. Because it is broad money which is going to immediately impact what? Which is going to immediately impact the demand in the system. So when RBI want to increase the liquidity or decrease the liquidity, RBI targets which one? Broad money. RBI targets what? Broad money by changing into what? Reserve money. So changing in the reserve money to change what? Broad money. So changing in the reserve money will change what? Broad money. If inflation is rising, then you have to decrease what? Broad money and increase what? Reserve money. And when you want to accelerate the economy, like what RBI did today? What RBI did today? Repo rate is decreased by 25 basis point. How many of you know that happened today? Rest of the people? Not aware of this. Not aware of this. Why? Since morning you are in the classroom. Didn't get the time. Tell me honestly, how many of you have checked your Instagram since morning? Phone switch off. No Instagram. Oh. No Instagram. Huh? No WhatsApp. WhatsApp is there. Snapchat is there. No. Do you know what Snapchat is? You don't know? Oh. That happens. No, I know that. I agree with you. Your phone is in what? Ringer mode, then I only understand that. Generally, those people who have their phone in the ringer mode. Why? Because no Babu Shona is there. Fine. No message, no calls. So nobody is going to call, right? Then phone is in the ringer mode, doesn't matter, right? So I know that.
Saving deposits with NBFC
But
NBFCs will not accept deposit.
Not all NBFCs.
Like 𝐃𝐸𝐽𝐺𝐿 deposit.
They accept the deposits. Fine. So RBI classify NBFCs in 8 categories. Fine. So certain categories of NBFC, they accept the deposits. So L1, L2, L3, M10, M1, M2, M3, M4 is clear. Now write what is money multiplier. Acha, have you written that Sundry and IMF account number 1, account number 2? Have you wrote that na? Keep that thing in the mind. Might be, will be asked. Fine. Now write what is money multiplier. The money multiplier measures how many times reserve money is expended. How many times reserve money expend into broad money through banking system. Money multiplier formula is money multiplier is equal to broad money upon what? Reserve money. MM stand for money multiplier. BM stand for broad money, not branch manager. Fine. Branch manager upon regional manager. Reserve money and broad money. But his performance of the day, I like that. That was going in this way, but when you went to the Nagin mode, that was awesome. You remind that Nagin dance. Now, see, this chapter 2, as I said that, this chapter 2 is considered as a very important from the point of prelims. So just write the crux of this chapter, then we'll move to what? Chapter 3. I know. Please write. Abhi, when the people are enjoying that dance and making a lot of noises, which even not found in the any animal kingdom, right? Not found in animal kingdom. Even if the recording is uploaded, definitely Net Geographic and Discovery, these people will definitely come to find out. We have never heard such kind of sound, whether in the Eastern Ghats or Western Ghats. Let's find out these in Ashok Nagar. Right? So then nobody was in what? Then nobody was in stress. Now class is about to over, then everybody is in stress. Counting what? Minutes as well as second. I am going to leave today at 7:30. Don't worry. Yes, my class was started at 5:30. Morning 7. I don't know. I was not there. I was there. No, I was not there. I corrected the paper. I don't know. That's not my writing. Acha, just write this one. Summary of this chapter. Number 1, bank credit. Bank credit remains strong. Bank credit remains strong, converging towards deposit growth. Number 2, profitability of scheduled commercial banks. Profitability of scheduled commercial banks is improved despite fall in NIM, net interest margin, because of sustained rise in ROA and ROE, return of assets and return of equity. Bottle is not going to fall, it is not possible. Bottle is definitely going to fall in this class. And this happens in this classroom only, no other classroom, here only. Next point, RBI's Financial Inclusion Index. RBI's Financial Inclusion Index increased from 53.9 to 64.2%. 64.2% in 2024. And this 53.9% was in 2021. So 53.9 was in 2021, and now it is increased to what? 64.2% in what? 2024. Next point, rural financial institutions. Rural financial institutions played a critical role in deepening credit access. Next point, global economic uncertainty. Global economic uncertainty impacts monetary policy. There is a next point. There is a concern over rising consumer debt. Rising consumer debt, comma, unsecured lending, especially among young investors. Young investors highlighted the need of prudential regulations. Prudential regulations. Now give a heading, external sector. Chapter number 3, external sector. Right? Right? According to Professor Robert Allen. According to Professor Robert Allen, the development history of Europe and North America. tells us followings need to be focused following need to be focused in order to have a prosperous economy in terms of external trade and commerce. Point number 1, internal free market. For example, having a system like GST, which allows uniform pricing, in any part of the country. Number 2, stable banking system. Number 3, good infrastructure. Number 4, universal education. And higher external tariff. In brackets, protectionist measures to protect domestic economy. So do you know that why Donald Trump is saying that make America great again? Uncle Donald is saying that, na, make America great again. So great again means what? America is not great right now. America was great at a point of time, according to him. But over the period of time, the American economy and the American influence is on decline. Fine, is on decline. America have an infrastructure. America have universal education. America have universal means good banking structure. Fine. So what is missing in the America according to Donald Trump? The protectionist measures to protect what? Domestic economy. Why? Because external countries' goods are coming to our country at what? Low tariff. And because of low tariff, the American economy is not able to grow properly. We have means for him, fine. For him, America have uniform taxation system like GST. America have infrastructure. America have universal education. Then why America is not able to become a, again, superpower like China is having right now? So he's saying that at a point of time, America have higher tariff. And that was a phase when American economy grow very fast. Because American economy do not allow external goods to be sold at what? Lower price in the America. So external goods are not able to come in what? America at lower tariff. And that is why American economy have boomed. So when you see the history of last 100 years of USA, so of that last 100 years of USA, if you'll see when America have the highest growth. See, growth is one thing, influence is another thing. So if you see economy, when the American economy grow very fast, so it was a phase when America was having very high tariff for outside goods. So this is what is keep emphasized by whom? Donald Trump. It is not trade liberalization, blah, blah, blah. We should not allow the leak of the money. WHO, ban. Fine, US aid, ban. No need to give our money. Why we should give our money? Are you giving something to us? Nothing is free. There is nothing like a free lunch. There is nothing like a free lunch. Fine. So this is one philosophy, and US is following that philosophy. Now world is realizing, everyone was putting what? Blame on US. Ki US is this, US is that. Now US is showing that ki what we are actually. World's biggest economy is there, and China is the second biggest economy. But see the contribution of China and WTO, WHO, and see the contribution of US and WHO, sorry. US's contribution. And everyone is putting blame on whom? US. So now Donald Trump is just want to show the world ki you are putting blame on us, na? Ki we are bad. Let's be bad. Now you will realize India is showing the concern, every country is showing the concern. Europe is not able to say anything. They are so scared because without US, they are not able to protect themselves from Russians. So they are able to protect themselves because of whom? US. So now they are realizing ki, okay, let them realize, don't be so kind. But people have the perception with respect to US what? US is bad, US is bad, US is bad. But now US is showing that ki we are not bad actually. We are providing, okay, we are doing interventions, we are doing everything because we are a strong country. We are a strong country. So you can also become a strong country and do whatever you want. If you are saying that ki I am doing what? I am doing wrong things. Why? Because I am in the advantage position. So you can also go into the advantage position. You can also do the wrong. Why I will be the part of climate treaty? Why I should pay more? I did the great development because I was capable. You was not capable. You was under colonial rule. That is your problem. That is not my problem. What India is saying that? Ki historically, you have put a lot of what? Lot of harm to environment. Why? Because you are in the industrialized phase for last 200 years. This is what India stand now. Ki USA have harmed more to environment than us. We have just started the development. Are tu kisne mana kiya tha? Have anybody stopped you? No, you was incapable. That was your problem. That was not my problem. Suppose that you topped the exam and somebody failed. And somebody is coming to you and he's saying that because you, I am failed. Because there was one seat only. And if you have not completed, I can get selected. So you got selected and I got failed because of you. Are you going to accept this argument? No. So then why US will accept? This is what Trump is saying that. And here the main important thing was higher tariff. So even country like India also follow same strategy. Developing the infrastructure, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, fine, having the uniform tax rate and having what? Higher tariff on the goods which are coming to from where? Outside the country. So these are some what? These are some basic features of every country. Fine. And on that basis, they have analyzed many things in this chapter. Okay. But by looking at your face, by looking your face, means it's not like ki, okay, it's look like ki, okay, give them mercy, let them go. It's not like that ki, okay, let's continue. It's like ki, okay, give them mercy because they are sitting from morning 7 o'clock. How many of you are sitting from morning 7 o'clock? Raise your hand. Here, morning 7 o'clock. Raise your hand properly. From 7. 8, na? From 8. From 7 o'clock. No, not 8. 7 o'clock. From 7 o'clock. 1. Why you have not written the answer? Huh? You are here from 7 o'clock, na? Why you have not written the answer? That's why I was asking. Huh? Have you written the answer? Why? Huh? Today is your first class. No. Morning 7 o'clock. Ma'am took the class, na? You was there at 7 o'clock. Why you have not wrote the answer? You don't know. You don't know. Anyways, so tomorrow we will continue from here. Okay. Thank you.